Hello everybody, welcome back to You Talk TV Plus. We're on intermediate level and therefore, how do you say por lo tanto? Therefore, I'm going to talk to you in English. Alright, let me know guys if you have any questions. You need to write a comment with minute and seconds, okay? I'm going to be using the vocabulary track a lot. And so if you want me to give you more details, if you want me to type how to write something, just leave minute and second and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Today we're gonna work on vocabulary 3, list number 4. There are a total of, ¿cómo se dice un total? A total of 25 words. And I'm gonna give you a lot of variations, a lot of sentences. We're gonna work with rhythm. We're gonna work with the 5 key letters and semi-key letters. And I want you guys to repeat in practice. If possible, have with you this book, number 3, vocabulary 3, with this audio file. Remember to listen 5 times before you read once, which is our ratio 5-to-1. Good. So we're gonna get started. Remember, this list 4, it is connected to the unit 18. It is the third list to unit 18. All those equivalences are in your grammar book. So let's get started. How do you say arrancamos? Let's get started. Enemigo, number 1, enemigo. How do you say enemigo? Enemy, enemy, enemy. Tú no eres mi enemigo. You're not my enemy. You're not my enemy. ¿Él es tu enemigo? Pregunta. Is he your enemy? Key letter E. Is he your, key letter R, your enemy? Now when we link the words together, you're gonna have is he, instead of is he your enemy? Is he your enemy? So intonation, hey, is he your enemy? Ella no es mi enemiga. Shh, key letter SH. She's not my enemy. She's not my enemy. She's not my enemy. ¿Es ella tu enemiga? Es she. Es, key letter E como E. Is she your enemy? Is she your enemy? Intonation, hey, is she your enemy? Is she your enemy? Very good. All right. Él tiene muchos enemigos. He has a lot of enemies. A lot of. T becomes a soft R in Spanish. He has a lot of enemies. You put it all together, he has a lot of enemies. 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 Question, ¿él tiene muchos enemigos? Does he have a lot of enemies? Does he, we can skip the H, does he? Does he have a lot of enemies? Hey, does he have a lot of enemies? Hey, does he have a lot of enemies? Repeat after me. Hey, does he, no does he, sino does he have? We can skip the he, H, and the have. The H here, the second H too. Does he have? Does he have a lot of enemies? Does he have a lot of enemies? Hey, does he have a lot of enemies? A lot of, key letter L. Does he have a lot of enemies? Does he have a lot of enemies? Very good job. Number 2, exigente. This one is pretty common. Demanding. What do you have here? La I is going to be demanding. So demanding, repeat after me, demanding. Ella es muy exigente. She's very demanding. ¿Es ella muy exigente? Is she demanding? Ella no es muy exigente, pero es un poco quisquillosa, como así meticulosa. She's not very demanding, but she is a little bit picky. Picky, P-I-C-K-Y, picky. She's not very demanding, but she's a little bit picky. Picky, exclusiva, picky. Very good. So, demanding, exigente también es como retante, challenging. Pero eso más que it's not demanding, it's challenging, is like something that is que te pone a prueba, ¿vale? It's It's more like demanding would be for a person, like she's really demanding on también una actividad. It's a demanding activity too. But challenging is more for activities. That's a challenging. That's really challenging, you know. Running a marathon is challenging. Challenging. What do we have in challenging? We have challenging, the key letter L, challenging, and then the key letter GJ. Remember, R, L, SH, GJ, and short I. So challenging, and then key letter short I. So 3 key letters. Okay, challenging, the L, the G, and the short I. Challenging. So repeat after me. Challenging. Yes, running a marathon is challenging. Running, key letter R, key letter short I. Running a marathon is, key letter short I, challenging. ¿Crees que correr una maratón es retante, es desafiante? Do you think, key letter short I, do you think running a marathon is challenging? Do you think, repeat after me, do you think running, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen, do you think running a marathon is challenging? Do you think running a marathon is challenging? Do you think running a marathon is challenging? Hey, do you think running a marathon is challenging? Hey, do you think, incluso do you think, hey, do you think running, no, mejor así, do you think, hey, do you think running a marathon is challenging? Hey, do you think that running a marathon, that is opcional, hey, do you think that running a marathon is challenging? Absolutely, yes, it is challenging. Well, actually, ¿cómo se dice de hecho? Actually, Carlos ran a marathon last year, I think it was March or February. He ran the marathon of Seville. 40 kilometers, 42 kilometers, oh my God, that is crazy. And that is challenging too. And he ran, fijaros si digo and he ran also a bicycle race. That was not a race, but it's a okay, it's an event, a cycling event. Then that he had to do 240 kilometers, I think, last year. So he did a marathon, which was really challenging in February, and then he trained himself to run this cycling event. Then it happens in the Pyrenees, and it's all up and down, just climbing mountains and down, and it's a total of 240 kilometers. So that was pretty challenging, just running a marathon and running that cycling race or event. Well, it's a race, really. It's a race. It's a cycling. It's a race. Yes, a bike race, a cycling race. Very good. So challenging and demanding. Ella es muy exigente. She is really demanding. Oh my God. She's never happy with anything. She keeps wanting more and more and more. She's so demanding. All right, cool. Now, number 3, un reto is a challenge. It's a challenge. Un retador is a challenger. It's a type of well, there's a make of a car. Which is Dodge, and one of the most famous cars that they make is a Dodge Challenger, the Challenger. And it's one of those muscle cars. I don't know if you guys know what a muscle car is. It was one of those American sport cars that are really rough and they sound like a beast. And the 3 most famous muscle cars are the Ford Mustang, then the Chevrolet Camaro, and the Dodge Challenger. El Dodge Retador. The Dodge Challenger. All right, so those are the 3 most typical muscle cars in the U.S. They've been made for almost 50 years. So the Ford Mustang was the 50th anniversary this year. So it means it was made for the first time in 1968, and it's been made constantly ever since. Okay, so the Dodge Challenger. Challenger. With a challenge is we have the key letter L, challenge, and the key letter G, challenge. And if we want to say challenger, then we add the key letter R at the end. So challenger. 3 key letters. You need to make the most. You need to not make the most. You need to pay attention and be really focused to do it correctly. Challenger. All right. So it's a challenge. Running a marathon. It's a challenge. It's challenging because it's a challenge. What else? Learning a foreign language is a challenge, especially. How do you say sobre todo? Especially if you're an adult, it is a challenge. And if you're from a Hispanic country, because our phonetics are so different, so it is always a challenge. But you can do it, guys. If Carlos and I did it, then you guys can make it too. Lo puedes lograr. Fijaros, si quieres decir lo puedes hacer, you can do it. Pero lo puedes lograr así como más potente, es like you can make it. Yes, to make it. To make it también es llegar a un sitio. Hey, you made it. Viene como lo has logrado. You made it. You made it. Me iré, no sé lo que haré. You made it. Very good. So, number 4, along. A lo largo de, along. Yes, you can see it along the road. Can you see all the, it's been raining and now you can see a lot of snails along the road, a lo largo de la carretera, along the road. A catchphrase that I use a lot is, veremos lo que pasa sobre la marcha. We'll see what happens along the way. We'll see what happens along the way. Veremos lo que pasa sobre la marcha. We'll see what happens along the way and then we'll work it out, as we go. Sobre la marcha, as we go along the way. All right, with along we also have to get along. Llevarse bien, to get along. Yes. Do you get along with your brother? In Britain, in England, it's mostly do you get on? Do you get on with your brother? Do you get along? In the US, it's get along. Do you get along with Maria? Get along. Get. The T becomes a soft R. Get along. The key letter L. Along. Get along. Do you get along with it? Do you get along with your sister? Hey, do you get Hey, do you get along with your sister? Do you get along with your brother? Do you get along with your family? Do you get along with your wife? Do you get along with your husband? Do you get along with your employees? You need to get along with everybody. Do you get along with your customers? Yes, because customers are always right. So you need to try to get along with them. To get along with somebody, llevarse bien. All right. Okay, cool. So number 5, casi, normalmente, mostly. I like this too. Mostly. What do you like to eat? Well, mostly I like to eat, pasta. I like to run in the mornings. Mayormente. Sobre todo, mostly. It's like especially. But mostly, yes. And a similar one is like, for example, are you going to the party tonight? And say, lo más seguro es que sí. Most likely, yes. And this, I remember, I learned it on my second year. I was in the US. And a guy came to our apartment to fix the internet connection, the Wi-Fi thingy. That was back in 2002. Well, it's 2002 or 3, I guess, so a long time ago. And he was fixing the whole thing, and somebody called him up. Alguien le llamó, and they said, okay, so are you coming to the rock show tonight? And you say, oh, most likely yes. I'm not done yet, but most likely yes. And I thought, oh wow, how cool is that? Instead of I don't know, I might be going, most likely yes, most likely. So it's similar to mostly, but mostly. I like to, play the guitar. What do you like to do in the evening? Well, yes, mostly playing the guitar, mostly, okay? Okay, most likely, lo más probable. All right. Now, number 6, carrera, estudios, grados, degree. It's funny, how do you say es curioso? It's funny because the career in English is what you do after you're done with college. You go to, by the way, you don't say go to the university, you say go to college. Did you go to college? Did you go to college? Yes, I went to college. Where do you go? I went to University of Zaragoza. ir a la universidad, go to college, but the university of, yes? And then when you finish college, then your career starts. Yeah, so he took a degree on physics, but he developed a career on English teaching. It's funny because he studied something different. Like me, I studied a degree on humanities, and I went to college right after high school. I went to college to University of Zaragoza. Yes, but my career started when I finished college, because instead of dedicating myself to teaching humanities or history or geography, something like that, I started my career on English teaching. So do you understand? So in Spanish, una carrera is your degree. Okay, well in English, the career is what you do after the degree. Then in Spanish, you go to vas a la universidad. In English, you go to college, and you only mention university to mention differentiating different kinds of colleges, so to speak. Does it make sense? All right, let's see. Notas. Number 7, notas. Grades. Yes, él tenía muy buenas notas. He had really good grades. Grades. The grades in Spanish is notable, sobresaliente. In English is A, B. A is the top grade. A minus, B would be like an 8. B minus would be 6 and something. C plus, C is a 5. Then D is a 4, and F is like below. Okay, so the grades in English is a lot different. Okay, the grades are a lot different. Okay, graduarse is to graduate. Graduate. Okay, it's funny how to say this. Graduate. June, July, check it. It's a D, but you have to make it sound like G. Graduate. So I graduated on humanities, but then I started my career on English teaching. It's funny, I don't have any degree on English teaching, however, I taught in the US for 3 years. Then I got back here to Spain. I taught at a primary school for 5 years, a bilingual school, and I was working simultaneously at college. I was teaching at English Philology in Zaragoza. I was teaching University of Zaragoza actually for years. Then I quit those 2 jobs, and I started, when I was 34, I started UTalk along with my brother. And yeah, he's by career, formally his degree, Carlos is on music teaching, and he's also a teacher. But yes, we didn't get any formal training of English teaching at college whatsoever. Or similar whatsoever. Okay, so graduate. Good. Number 9, sustituir is to substitute. Yes, I'm a substitute, and I'm substituting a teacher. Or you can also say I'm filling in for. So Fran, what are you doing here? Well, I'm filling in for Maria. She's sick, so I'm filling in for her. I'm taking over Maria's class. I'm substituting Maria, so I'm a substitute. Also, to fill in is informar. Did you go to the meeting? Yes, I went. Don't worry, I will fill you in with the details. Come on, fill me in. It's funny. Fill in es informar. Dar detalles sobre algo, okay? Now, number 10, ingeniería. Engineering. Key letter G, J, N, G, E, como engineering. Key letter R, engineering. He's an engineer, and he loves engineering, okay? Now, number 11, derecho, law. Key letter L, law. Y un abogado es a lawyer, y las leyes son laws. Como incumplir la ley es to break the law. Breaking the law. There's a famous song by Judas Priest, and it goes breaking the law. And the music video is pretty funny. Breaking the law, and the guitar riff goes breaking the law. All right, I love that song. Judas Priest, breaking the law. Yes, the law. All right, a lawyer. It's funny, this word, because you have a lawyer, And then we have a liar. A liar es un mentiroso. Liar and lawyer. Okay, so el abogado es un poco mentiroso. The lawyer is a little bit of a liar. Yes, and also a layer. A layer, escrito L-A-Y-E-R. A layer is a capa. A layer. So if you like sandwiches, normally you need to prepare different layers. A layer of cheese, a layer of ham, a layer of butter, so to speak. Okay, for example. All right, so remember, a lawyer, a liar, a layer. Isn't it funny? All right, so yes. And also, it's un albañil, it's a brick layer. A brick layer. Es como que ponen capas de ladrillos. A brick layer. Brick layer. Okay, all right. Okay, bricklayer, yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check about bricklayer. Bricklayer, okay. All right. Bricklayer, I'm pretty sure it's like that. Bricklayer, yes. All right, let's see. Okay. Yes, bricklayer. Exactly. So, un albañil is a bricklayer. So, remember, liar, mentiroso, lawyer, abogado, layer, capa, un albañil, let's say, bricklayer, yes, definitely. Okay, cool. So, un constructor, that's a builder, pero eso no se refiere, that's not referring a bricklayer. A builder is who is in charge of the company that builds. Okay, so he's a builder. He just buys plots of lands, trozos de tierra, and then he buys and sells and organizes all the construction with bricklayers, with truckers, with everything. Okay, so a builder. Now, un electricista is an electrician. Electrician, key letter L. Key letter E, como E. Electrician, key letter SH. Electrician. Él era electricista. He was an electrician. Key letter L. Key letter R. Electrician, key letter SH. Electrician. Very good. All right. Un dependiente, un agente comercial is salesperson. It's what we call in Spanish un comercial. A salesperson. Key letter R. Person. Key letter L. Salesperson. He was a really good salesperson. Yes, era muy convincente. He was very convincing. V semi key letter I. Convincing, key letter short I. Convincing. He was very convincing. That's why he was a very good salesperson. He really trusted the product, and then you could tell. Se notaba. You could tell. How do you say se nota? I can tell. Very good. Number 17, un desempleado. Estoy desempleado. I'm unemployed. The employer es el empresario. The employer. Employer. El contratado es the employee. The employer, and he's unemployed. Yes, the unemployment rate, la tasa de paro, the unemployment rate. Now in Spain it's around 15%, but that rate used to be 25% 5 years ago. Yes, and the lowest unemployment rate was in 2007 or beginning of 2008, so which is 10 years ago, and it was around 9%. Still high because if you compare it with the United States, the US is it's been between the 4 and 6%, the unemployment rate. Now we're 15, we're getting better in Spain, but it used to be 25%. So 1 out of 4 people was unemployed a few years ago, but we're getting better. So unemployed. Okay. Yes, number 18, entrevistar is to interview. You can skip the T. Interview. Yes, I'm attending a job interview. I went to a job interview. Job. Key letter J. Yes, J. All right, so a job interview. I went to a job interview. Yes, was it good? Was it bad? What was the result? I don't know yet. I'll know the result next week. Are you nervous? Oh, yes, a little bit. How'd it go? How'd it go? How did it go? Fijaros, how'd it go? How did it go becomes how'd it go? Well, I think it went well, but I'm not sure. Yes, there was a lot of competition. Había mucha competencia. There was a lot of competition. Competition. Key letter SH. Competition. Yes, very good. A job interview. Yes. Okay. Contratar. Number 19. Contratar is to hire. Hire. Hire and despedir is to fire. Fire. Por lo tanto, contratado, hired. You are hired. Estás despedido, you are fired. Estoy cansado, I'm tired. See, it is the same ending for the word. Hired, fired, tired. However, tired is really polluted. Está muy contaminada because we've read it many times and we tend to say tired. However, fired and hired are not polluted because most likely you guys haven't used them that much. So you can try that. Like most of you are going to be able to say hired, fired, but then you're not able to say tired properly. But it's the same. So you repeat after me. Hired, fired, tired. Come on. In case you have trouble with tired, I recommend you guys do this activity. Hired, fired, tired. Hired, fired, tired. Hired, fired, tired. Hired, fired, tired. We have the key letter R in all of them, all right? Hired. Fired. Tired. Tired. Voy a llevar al coche al taller. Tired, pero con la D al final, ¿vale? Tired. Okay, now so hired. Él contrató a un arquitecto. He hired an architect. The builder, el constructor, the builder hired a new architect. Yes, then the architect had to be in touch with most of the bricklayers to give them the instructions. You see, the builder hired an architect. All right, but before hired the architect, he had to fired. He had to fire. Okay, so the builder hired pasado an architect, and he had to fire, sin the ed, fire the previous architect. Okay, hired, fired, tired. Okay, very good. Now, number 20, contrato. It's a contract. Contract. Key letter R. Contract. Contract. Yes, you have to sign the contract. Firmar, sign. Firmar, sign, firma, signature. A sign también es un cartel, un rótulo. Do you see that sign there? Yes, it says if you want to get to downtown, you need to go straight ahead. Okay, so that's a sign. Oh, es un buen síntoma. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Yes, sign here. Your signature. Yes. If you give me your sign, if you sign, it's going to be a good sign. Yes, look at that sign. Very good. So contract, you need to sign the contract. It has good conditions. Buenas condiciones, good conditions. Remember the words that end with tion, like condition, situation. It's never going to be condition, sino shen. It's como S-H-E-N. Condition, situation, complication, aggravation. All right? Condition, good condition. The conditions for the contract are really good, so you need to sign it. Sign the contract and you will be hired. Yes, very good. Competitivo, very good. Number 21, competitivo is competitive. He's very competitive. Competitive, it means a couple of things. One is not so positive, so be careful with Antonio. He's really competitive. So if you suggest something, it'll take it as a challenge. He takes everything as a challenge because he's really competitive, so you need to watch out. And competitive too is, well, no, I was wrong here. I was thinking about competent. Yes, he's really competent. One thing is competent. which is competente, and one thing is competitive. Yeah, he's really competitive. So be careful. Do not try to challenge him. Don't try to challenge him because he's really competitive. And then, so that's not good. But competent is somebody who's really good and excellent at what they do. So you'd say, yeah, he's really competent. Don't worry. If he says he's going to finish the job in a couple of weeks, he'll do it because he's really competent. Okay? Yes, competir is to compete. You don't want to compete. Eso sí que es una I, compete. You don't want to compete on that because, prices are really low and you cannot compete with lower prices. It's not wise. No es muy inteligente. That's not really intelligent to compete by lowering your price. You need to raise them and try to have or polish your product a little bit and try to compete that way. Yes, but it's not very wise, it's not very intelligent to compete by lowering your price. We can compete with that. Yes, our YouTube channel has 120,000 subscribers and we can compete with a channel that has 1 million subscribers. Not now though, but maybe in the future. It's a complete different animal. That's a good expression. A complete different animal. That's another league. Es otra liga. It's a complete different animal. We can't compete with that. We're a small company. Maybe in the future, give us a few years, we'll be able to compete. But not now. So, yes. So to compete. To compete. Very good. La competencia. Competition. There's a lot of competition in the English teaching sector or field. There's a huge competition. At least here in Spain, there are a lot of academies. Like we have a school in Zaragoza. Zaragoza is a city with 700,000 people. It's a pretty big city for our standards. And there are more than 100 English schools. So there's a lot of competition. Why is there a lot of competition? Because there are no there's no barriers to, you want to set up school, you just need to know how to speak English. Not even that, you can pretend it. And yeah, you can open a school, no problem. There are no barriers, okay? Barely any, casi ninguna. So there's a lot of competition. And so if you want to compete, si quieres competir ahí, if you want to compete, you need to be really competent. Your quality needs to be high, you need to have a strong brand. Yeah, you need to try to do things well and get results so your customers can spread the word, como hacer correr la voz. They can spread the word. So if you do things well, then eventually, tarde o temprano, then you can, try to have your customers and yes, you can really compete with quality, but not lowering your price. That's not really wise. So there's a lot of competition. Again, competition. There's a lot of competition in many other fields too. Right? Maybe not on, teaching Russian or teaching something like that. But when it comes to when there's a lot of market, in other words, when there are a lot of people interested in learning something or acquiring something, normally there's a lot of competition too. Okay. Interested in, yes. People interested in something. Okay. No, interested on, I said before. Okay, good. So, confiado, seguro, confident. He es un tipo muy seguro. He's a really confident person. Tiene mucha seguridad. He has a lot of self-confidence. He's really confident. He's really self-confident, Estoy muy seguro. I'm really confident that we can succeed. Podemos tener éxito. I'm really confident. Are you sure? Yes, I'm positive. When you want to say you're totally 100% sure, then you say positive. I'm positive. Are you sure? Are you that confident that we can reach our goals? Yes, I'm positive. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm positive. There's no way we can fail. So trust me, we can make it. Yes, lo podemos lograr. It's alright, think we're gonna make it. A song by Christopher Cross. It's alright, think we're gonna make it? All right, confident. And the last one, number 25, seguridad y certeza. Certeza, certainty. Yes. Yeah, I have my certainty is that we can do it. Yes. There's a huge certainty. Certainty is a little bit more formal than confidence or confidence. Yes. And the opposite is uncertainty. Yeah, but certainty. And when you start a company, you need to have this certainty that you can succeed, that you can do something. Because if you're not confident, it's going to be very difficult for you to sell products, to grow, and to convince, eventually, to convince your potential customers. All right. So there needs to be a certainty. Yes. So, anyways, we're done with this list number 4. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions about this. I gave you a lot of sentences, a lot of pronunciation tricks, a lot of repetition, a lot of variations, a lot of sentences. Again, you name it. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop a line, leave a comment, and we will help you out as soon as we can. All right, and it's going to be good for you guys, and it'll be good for the rest of the YouTalkers, because all these comments are going to be read by many people. Not only you, but it's going to be helpful for the rest of you guys. All right, so the more questions you leave, the better. The more, the better. The more questions you write or you type or you leave, the highest, the better for everybody. Okay, so do not hesitate, no tengáis dudas, to comment. All right, guys, so thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. See you later.